I recently went through and set up a new Google Performance Max campaign, which is Google's new campaign type that allows you to create one campaign that runs your ads across all of these platforms: YouTube, Gmail, Google Search, that's traditional pay-per-click, Display, and Discover. And ultimately, Google says, hey, you put in your creative assets, we're going to run ads across all of these platforms, and we're going to get you conversions at the lowest cost. And that sounds really, really good in theory. It simplifies something that's very complex. Like in my case, I run ads on all of these different platforms already, often for the same offer. So I have to create 5 different campaigns. Here, I just put in my creative assets, and my creative assets being my headlines, my descriptions, my images, and my videos. And ultimately, Google will run these ads across all these platforms and get me conversions at the lowest cost, or as many conversions as it can get at my target CPA. But in going through and setting up the campaign, there was one thing that made me not optimistic about this whole thing. And that is the setting for the final URL. And not so much the setting, but rather the lack of the ability to add more final URLs in here. Because in my experience in running ads on all of these different platforms, there are different styles of landing pages that are used for different platforms. So for example, my landing page for the ones that come from Display and Discover are rather long form landing pages, at least long form relative to the ones that I like to use. They've got a lot of details on them, they've got more social proof, they've got trust building elements, etc. And you need that extra detail on those landing pages to give the user more context, right? Because they might just click on your ads, like for a display ad, they might just click on your ad on some random website, but they don't know anything about your business or why they should trust you to actually take this action and convert. Whereas if you're running an ad on YouTube, well, you've got the YouTube video and you can stuff a lot of context into that YouTube ad that they're going to see. So you can establish the demand for the offer right off the get-go in the video. You can establish the trust. You can establish the credibility. You can add the social proof. You can apply some pain points, and you can drive an action. So my ads or my landing pages that are coming from YouTube ads, those landing pages are really short and concise. Like literally, here you go, do this. This is the next step. Okay. Whereas my landing pages for ads that are coming from Display and Discovery, those landing pages are a little bit longer, or a lot longer actually. I mean, they're substantially longer, and they've got a lot more substance and content on them than my ads do, than my landing pages do that are coming from YouTube. And again, as I said, that's because in the YouTube video, I can put a lot more into the YouTube video, and I can put a lot more context into the video, so by the time the user clicks over, they're ready to take that action. Whereas with Display and Discovery, as you know, those ads don't give you the opportunity to put a lot of context in there. So there's a whole lot of words just to kind of go back to my main point, and that is there are different landing page styles for each type of platform, or for each platform. And I don't really see it being effective running the landing page, or only being able to run one landing page. Now, what I did is I took my long form landing page, the one that I would use for Display, Discover, and also Gmail, and I'm using that here. I figured it would just be best, and this kind of goes against some of my own thoughts and logic, but I figured in this context it would just be best to put the landing page with the most context and information on it in here. That said, I also say, I know in some of my other videos, I like to go with short landing pages when the user doesn't need any other info, because, for example, by the time they've decided to click through from my YouTube ad, they've already decided that they're going to take me up on my offer, right? So it's kind of got me in this catch-22 scenario here, and based on my experience, these platforms use different landing pages. So ideally, the Performance Max things is great. I would just like to see the ability to add more final URLs in here. If I could add 2 more just to go for my 3 styles of landing pages, that would be a winner. But for now, I can't do that, and I am running the Performance Max campaign, and as I said, I am using my longest form landing page to test things out. So only time will tell. Maybe in a few months, I will make another video saying I love Performance Max, but I don't know. At this moment, I'm not optimistic about it, and that's why. So if you guys found this video helpful and insightful, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Help me out, hook me up in the YouTube algorithm. I'm signing off on this one.